And now I'd like to introduce a very special speaker who will also be presenting exciting new programs here at Valley Torah. Saul Blinkoff is a Hollywood filmmaker who has worked with some of the world's most iconic studios, including Disney, DreamWorks, and Netflix. He began his career as a Disney animator on classic films such as Pocahontas, The Hunchback, Notre Dame, Mulan, Tarzan, and later went on to direct beloved projects including Winnie the Pooh, Kronk's New Groove, and Doc McStuffins. Today, Saul is a sought-after global keynote speaker, inspiring audiences around the world with practical tools for living with purpose, while staying deeply rooted in Jewish identity and values. He is also the host of the inspirational podcast, Life of Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Saul Blinkoff.
Good evening. I am truly honored to be here. While I was driving here, I began thinking of how busy all of us are. And yet all of us carved out time to be here tonight. For me personally, I spend my life telling stories for a living, or I travel the world speaking to companies, organizations about creativity, leadership, and purpose. But if I'm being completely honest, what takes up more of my time than I would ever like to admit is social media. Yeah, I have to promote my business. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. The truth is, all of us are busy. Every single one of us is being pulled in 1,000 different directions by our work, by our families, by the devices that are always demanding our attention. And you know that if you wanted to, every single one of you could take out your phones. Please don't do this right now. But you could take out your phones and find out to the penny how much money you have. That's right, you can go to your Bank of America app. We know exactly how much money we have. Not only that, if we really wanted to, every single one of us could make more. You can't open up a lemonade stand? A babysitting service? Yeah, we could always make a little bit more money. And money is extremely important, but it's not the most valuable thing that we have. You see, the most valuable thing we have is our time. And not even Jeff Bezos himself can ever make more of it. And the truth is, none of us has any clue how much time we have left. We know how valuable our time is, but you know who doesn't know it? Our children. Our kids, they don't know. Your kids don't know. And I'll tell you something else. The greatest danger of social media is not that it takes our kids time, it's that it quietly teaches them to look outside themselves to decide who they are. I want to tell you guys about a student. Could be any student. We'll call him Josh. Josh could be any student in any Jewish high school in the world. He's a good kid. He's bright. He's thoughtful. He's talented. He's not struggling academically. He's got friends. But like most teens today, Josh did not exactly choose social media. It was simply there. Before his feet even hit the floor every morning, he's already scrolling Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. He's just checking. And by the end of the day, he has scrolled 4 to 5 hours. Add that up, that's 30 hours a week. That is literally a full-time job. But the real cost, it's not the time. It's what happens to Josh emotionally. You see, Josh posts a photo. Then he waits. Then he checks it. He refreshes. He puts the phone down. He picks it back up. A quiet lesson begins to sink in. Let the world tell you how you are doing. And if the likes go up, if he gets the little emojis, he feels awesome. And if they don't, something inside him sinks. In just a few seconds, Josh learns a very dangerous idea. My values live outside of me. And this matters to me personally because I've spent my career as a storyteller creating stories that compete for attention. That's what I do for a living. And I've seen how powerful that pull can be. And so you hear a story about Josh, and I'm sure some of you in this room are hearing that, and it sounds like your kids. I got 4 teenagers. It sounds like some of my kids. And so what do we do about it? What are we supposed to do? We have a choice. What should we do? Should we take our kids' phones away? What, that thought hasn't crossed your mind every day? Sure it has. I know what we could do. We can try to control everything in their lives. And even if we could do that, what would it really teach our kids? Or is there something better? You see, that's where the leadership of Valley Torah has done something truly extraordinary. You see, instead of imposing rules, they created a culture. They designed programs built not on control, but on trust. In the boys' division, it's a program called the Alive program. It's led by Rabbi Semmel and Rabbi Majeski. In the girls' division, it's called the Shift program. It's led by Chaya Ullman and Yali Rosenberg. And together, they have given students something so powerful. You know what they gave them? A choice. That's right. Students voluntarily chose to step away from Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. Can you imagine that? They're still connected through WhatsApp. They can still talk. This year alone, between the boys and girls school, do you know how many students chose to give it up? 10 students. Nope, that's not the number. Hold that applause. You ready for this? 30 students. Want to applaud for that? Hold your applause. You want to know how many students? Get ready. 90 students. 90 students have chosen to participate. In Judaism, you know what we call that? We call it bechira. It's free will. And when students make that choice, something remarkable happens. They're not coming back saying, oh my gosh, I missed my Instagram. You know what they're saying? This is literally quotes from the students. They're saying, I didn't realize how much time I had. I started hiking. I picked up an instrument again. One said, I actually talk to my friends now. That literally sounds like the way we grew up, doesn't it, guys? One student even said that when she stepped away from social media, she began dreaming more at night. Wow. As if her mind finally had space to rest and wander again. It's amazing. You know what they're really saying? They're saying, I discovered myself again. That's powerful. When I get asked to speak to students around the world, there's really one message I constantly remind them. Over and over, it doesn't matter how old they are. I've said it to 9-year-olds. I've said it to law students. Don't let anyone define how you feel about yourself. And I tell them to let that sink in. Don't let anyone define how you feel about yourself. You see, social media is not evil, but it is powerful. And its quiet danger is that it trains our kids to look outside themselves for identity. So tonight, we celebrate Valley Torah. Not for taking something away from the students, but for giving them something far greater. You see, you didn't enforce a rule. You created a culture. You trusted your students with responsibility, and they rose to it. Because the power that endures isn't found in an app or on a screen or the approval of strangers. The power that endures is our Torah. And Torah teaches our children that their value isn't something they scroll for. It's something they can carry within them. That who they are isn't defined by likes or follows, but by purpose, responsibility, and meaning. Through Alive and Shift, Valley Torah is doing something extraordinary. They're creating space for students to hear that voice again. And when young people are empowered to choose Torah as the lens through which they see themselves and their time, that is the power that endures. Thank you.